Hello, welcome to Campus Spotlight. I'm Catley Woods, a communication major at Missouri Southern State University. This program features a look at life on campus at MSSU. The interviews were conducted by students in the professional interviewing class in the fall of 2016. We begin this program with a look at athletics and will look at student organizations later in the program. Fall is a time when student athletes participate in football, soccer, volleyball, and cross country. Our first interview features a member of the football team.
Good afternoon, Missouri Southern. I am Caitlin Isaac, and I'm sitting here today with Lars Lindquist. He's an offensive line for the Missouri Southern State football team. Lars, go ahead and start telling me about your major and what year in school you are.
I'm a professional writing major, and I'm a senior.
What does that entail, professional writing?
It's kind of like business writing, like grants, and just kind of the like of that. And maybe might take that into law writing. I'm still deciding. So.
Okay, so you like law?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't exactly have the time to study it with sports and work and everything. So.
How many hours a week do you spend practicing football?
Including meetings and everything, we're tied up from about 2 until probably about 7 o'clock at night.
So that leaves 7 to 10 maybe for homework?
Yeah, and then yeah, we lift during the day too and have classes, so it's kind of a demanding schedule. So.
What time in the morning do you wake up to start studying or practicing?
Well, we lift at 8, so I gotta be up probably about 6, maybe 7, 6:30.
Wow.
So, yeah. Yes.
So how do you organize your time?
I mean, I don't do it too efficiently. I'd like to get a little bit better at it, but when I do think ahead of time, I normally just kind of write out a little schedule for the week. But I've been kind of slacking on that. That's how I started, but it's kind of fallen off a little bit as I've continued through school. So.
Yeah, the years go by.
Yeah. So.
And did you say you're a junior or a senior?
I'm a senior.
Oh, okay. Do you graduate this December or May?
I graduate in the spring, so December.
Congratulations. Do students in sports here at Missouri Southern, do they have to obtain a certain GPA to play?
I mean, you have to have a 2.0, but generally, I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I've kept it a little higher than that because, I mean, it looks better on resumes and everything if you have a higher GPA. So.
Yeah, exactly, that 3.0. Have you ever known an athlete, I guess, that has ever had to quit sports because they couldn't obtain that GPA?
Oh, yeah, I've known plenty. I mean, I've lost a lot of friends actually that just couldn't keep up with the demanding workload. So I mean, it is tough, and I understand how that would how they'd fall behind, but I mean, it's just got to find the balance.
Yeah, so. That organizational skill. Right, and do you do a lot of reading for your major? Mostly
for school. I mean, I did for leisure in the past, but I haven't really had time considering we read, I mean, at a time 2 or 3 books. So it's a little daunting, but it's okay.
I see. So. What do you plan on doing outside of graduation?
Well, I'm actually going to intern with the media director here at the school. So I'm kind of just help with kind of the newsletters and maybe just get more involved in kind of the athletics and maybe the website. So. It'll be pretty cool.
I see. Are you taking any classes currently for website design or?
No, but I've been talking to Justin Maskus, that's the media director, and he said he could teach me everything I need to know. So I'm excited to start with him.
I see. And do a lot of athletes actually in football, are they from a lot of different cities?
There's quite a few actually, yeah. I mean, we do get our majority of our teams from the surrounding area, but we do have a few people from I think the East and West Coast, and a lot from Chicago, and just kind of around the United States. So it's a very diverse team.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, generally there's a lot of talent in other states. I mean, I know Missouri's decent, but I mean Florida is really well known, and California, and just I think just a bigger talent pool. So.
Alrighty, well, it looks like that's all the time we have today. Is there anything that you would like to add or tell the students of Missouri Southern?
I think I'm good.
All right, this was Caitlin Isaac, myself, and Lars. Everyone have a good day. Thank you.
There are people working behind the scenes in the athletic department to support the teams and athletes. Up next, we'll find out about how advertising ties together MSSU and community supporters.
Hi, thanks for being with us. My name is Benjamin Costley, and we are recording here from the campus of Missouri Southern State University, and this is Campus Spotlight. Today I'm here with Daniel Crawford. Daniel, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
So Daniel, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Joplin originally. I graduated from Joplin High School, went here to Missouri Southern for a couple years. Then I transferred down to University of Arkansas and graduated from there in 2014. So.
Okay. And so now you work at Missouri Southern. What is your job title here?
I am the athletics marketing assistant. So I work in the athletic department with sponsors and game day organization, that sort of thing.
Okay. And when did you start here at Missouri Southern?
I started almost a year ago, November of 2015.
Okay. And could you describe to me what your position entails?
Sure, yeah. Like I said, I work with directly with the sponsors of the athletic department. I do game day promotions for them. I make sure all the signage and everything that they have bought from us is in the right spot. I make sure that groups that come in, we have big groups come into every football game, especially it's football season right now. I work with them a lot on game day. So I do a lot of things kind of in the background of the marketing department over there.
Okay. So you sell advertisements. Who do you sell those advertisements to?
Local businesses. You know, there's some big corporations that sponsor Missouri Southern locally, but there's a lot of also just Joplin, you know, small businesses here that are supporting the athletic department.
Okay. And so say I was a local business or a corporation and I wanted to advertise through Missouri Southern, what are my options for that?
There's a lot of different options. We have print options, signage options, meaning just like banners around stadiums, signage that people are just going to see coming and going from game day events. But then there's also things like season-long promotions where people will, you know, play a game during halftime and the winner gets, you know, $50 gift certificate to, you know, a restaurant or something. A restaurant could buy that promotion. There's also, we do some digital stuff too on our website, sell some advertisements there. So there's a lot of different things that businesses can do.
Okay. As far as the signage goes for game day sporting events, what kind of events can I advertise at if I was a business? What kind of sporting events?
Mostly it's football, basketball, just because that's the most foot traffic that we get. But we sell some signage at soccer games, some signage at baseball games and softball games. So really, you can, if you're a business and you're really interested in track and field, you know, you can buy signage there. But it's not a big pull just because there's not a lot of fans there.
Okay. So at a typical Saturday home game, football game, how many people would be expected to see my advertisement if I was a business?
Typical home game, anywhere between 3,500 and 6,000 people are going to be there at the game. So a pretty decent amount of people. We usually have a pretty decent visiting team that travels with their team pretty well. So signage at football games is pretty valuable just because a lot of people will see it.
Okay. Have you received any positive feedback from businesses who advertise through Missouri Southern?
Yeah, the new smoothie place over here on 7th Street is a new sponsor with us this year. They gave out samples at our first home football game. The owner is really excited about, you know, it was a very great reception that he got here. So I think that he's really excited about the partnership that's been going on this year.
Okay. If you were a business, would you advertise through Missouri Southern?
Yeah, I think it's a great way to, first of all, just support the community. I think that supporting the local school is kind of important from a PR standpoint, and also just, you know, local businesses want to give back to the community, and that's a good way to do it. There's also, we do a lot of things that really can help drive business to your place. So we, you know, do promotions that give away coupons and that sort of thing that have a lot more tangible results. So yeah, I would definitely say it's a good thing.
Okay. Well, Daniel, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for coming here to interview with me.
Appreciate it.
And until next time, have a good day.
With the changing of seasons, sports also change. Have you ever wondered about the coaches and people behind the scenes? Our next interview gives some insight into the life of one of Southern's men's basketball assistant coaches.
Thanks for tuning in to KGCS TV Campus Spotlight. My name is John Craddock, and I'm here with assistant men's basketball coach Paul McMahon. Coach, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So I've heard that you were a good baseball player in your college days. How's the transition been from the field to the court?
Well, yeah, having coming from a baseball background, it's been a little different, but growing up my whole life, I was always a basketball player. I had to give up the game at a late age because of my knee surgeries. And I always had the plan of coming back to basketball, so it hasn't been such a rapid movement for me. I've always kind of had this plan for my future, so I think that's helped me not go into shock about this new transition, but really just be it's really just part of the plan that I've had for my life, so I think that's helped ease the transition.
Nice. So becoming a college basketball coach, was it something you always had in mind?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's always been something that I planned. Going into baseball, I just always wanted to be a part of a team, and that helped accomplish that. I love just being around a group of guys with one goal and just trying to accomplish something. So baseball kind of just filled that part of my life. But I went into it with the aspirations of still becoming a basketball coach. So that kind of helped me with the transition.
Okay. So with this being your very first year of coaching, how's the experience been so far?
It's been great. The group of guys that I've been working with, it's helped make it a lot easier. The coaching staff, they've really taken me on and just take me as part of their team, so that's helped a lot. I could have went into a situation where the coaches were kind of above me or looked down on me, but it's been great to be in a position to where the coaches are really taking me under their wing and want me to succeed.
Right. So who was a big impact in helping you get this position?
Definitely my brother. My brother was already on the coaching staff with head coach Jeff Boschee, and he really opened the door for me. We started talking about it about a year or two ago and came up with the idea of me possibly joining the staff. And then just as time went on, I really became attached to the idea, and I ended up really following through and putting that as my main goal. So working through college, I kept that in mind and got a degree in sports management and then minors in business marketing and business and marketing. So my brother just really kept me in the loop and just got me into this position that I am now.
Right. So how do you plan on improving as a coach from year to year?
I really just want to soak in all the information that the head coaches above me and assistant coaches above me give to the players. So observation is going to be the main thing. I think just watching the way that they conduct themselves and watching the way that they conduct their practices will really help me grow as a coach. And then just learning from the players, it's going to be a trial and error type thing, just working with different guys and seeing how different players react to different methods of coaching and just growing through that over time, I think is going to be the biggest thing for me.
Right. So how has coaching affected your life?
A lot busier. My life has got a lot busier. I've just transitioned out of college, so those days are behind me, and those were pretty easy days. But now my days are full of work to where every hour of my day is taken up. But I love it. I don't even consider it a real job. It's a lot better than what I would be doing if I was sitting at a desk. So I love every day of it.
Right. So the season is about to start. So what are your expectations for this upcoming season?
I expect a big year for the Lions. I think that we have the right personnel in and the right coaching staff to really have a big year. So I just expect our players to go out and play to the best of their abilities every day and to leave everything on the floor. And if they do that, that's all I can ask of them. So.
All right. Well, Coach, that's all the questions I have for you. Thanks for coming. And this is John Craddock. Hope to see you next time on Campus Spotlight.
Covering the Lions is a big job for local media, including our own campus newspaper, The Chart. Up next, we meet the person serving as sports editor this year.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today with Campus Spotlight. My name is Trayvon, and this is Kelvin Dooley II. He is the sports editor for The Chart here on campus. Kelvin, why did you choose to write for The Chart?
Well, I was recruited by the former sports editor, Ian Taylor. He's a graduate alumni here of Missouri Southern. And why I chose it, I mean, I love sports. It's that simple. I love sports. And I figured I needed something to do. I figured I couldn't be the athlete. I couldn't be the guy out there dunking or catching the touchdown passes. So I figured I'd cover sports and talk about it. And I love debating. I love talking sports with guys. I love the barbershop conversations about sports. It's that simple. I just love sports. I love being surrounded by sports, and that's something I want to do in life, just be around sports.
Okay. So why do you enjoy writing about sports? You mentioned that you aren't the athlete out there, but what is it that really makes you enjoy it?
I don't know. It's passionate. You know, you have a lot of barbershop talks, and you talk with your friends and your buddies in the cafeteria or wherever the setting is, and you got guys who get angry at certain topics. You got guys who are biased and love their teams. Sports, that whole realm is just fun. You know, I can't really point to one thing and say why. It's just sports. Sports is authentic. It's real. It's fresh. It's year round. You know, you can never not look and debate and talk sports. So I think it's that simple. That's why I love it. You know, it's a fun thing. So.
All right. When was it that you decided that you wanted to maybe write or do something with journalism or sports, right?
As soon as I failed anatomy and physiology, that's when I knew I wanted to be going to that field. I came to Southern as a freshman. I came to Southern as a biology major, and my very first class in college was anatomy and physiology 1, and I failed it with flying colors. So I had to get up out of there and go with something that I love, something that I like. Okay. And I thought I liked science until I failed that class. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to communications and do something I like. So I think at that moment, which is my spring semester, I think that's when I knew I wanted to be a comm major and take on sports. So.
Okay, so you mentioned Ian Taylor being the sports editor when you first started at the Chart. What was it like working under Ian as a sports writer?
It was great. He's helped me establish my ground rules and what I look from my staff writers. He just helped me become a better leader, become a better writer. He was a guy who always talked to me, not necessarily about sports and the Chart, just how to be a better person and how to be a better leader. And that way you can lead another group of men like he led me. And he went on to become the eventual editor-in-chief, a position I'll be taking on next year. So he did a great job. He's a very blunt guy, in your face. Not so much for me, but I'd probably like to lead by example for the most part. But you learn a lot of things. I learned a lot of things from a guy like that. So he just got back from a trip to Australia. He's doing good things, big things. So he's a great leader, great mentor, and he's helped me in the position I'm at today. So.
Okay, and I actually got the chance to meet Ian, so I I can feel what you're saying. I understand those things. What was it like transitioning from a sports writer to now the sports editor for the paper?
It was easy for the most part. I think the only thing that differs is the responsibility. So now you're not just looking over yourself, you're looking over a bunch of other guys, and you now have to edit stories. And I've been designing the last 2 years, but now you have to worry about design and making sure guys get the stories in on time and so on and so on. So the transition was easy, something I enjoy, and I'm just preparing for the next transition, which is editor-in-chief. So I'm looking forward to it.
What are some goals maybe that you have for gaining that position?
No goals. I think I'm more of a rewards guy. I think the ultimate reward would be becoming the best Division II paper in the state of Missouri again, and I would like to be the guy in the forefront, and I would like to be the guy in charge of that. You know, and to say I led a group of people to receive this award. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Okay, and finally, what is a career that you hope to pursue in the future? What exactly?
Well, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised. I would love to go back and work for the Chiefs or Royals one day. That's the ultimate dream job. Newspaper isn't really my forte, but I enjoy it while I'm doing it. It's a good practice. I would love to go on the radio, host my own radio show and debate people and, and talk sports. But the ultimate dream, or what I hope for in the next 5-10 years, would be to work for the Chiefs or Royals one day. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today,
No
Kelvin.
problem.
And thank you for joining us here at Career Spotlight.
We turn now to campus organizations. Missouri Southern's Greek life features 3 fraternities and 2 sororities. Our next interviews feature visits from 2 of those organizations. First, we find out about one of the sororities, Alpha Sigma Alpha.
Hi, my name is Patrick Wheeler. I'm here interviewing today Kirsten Hillman, president of Alpha Sigma Alpha on a campus or a sorority. And Kirsten, thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome, Patrick.
And when I look at Alpha Sigma Alpha, I know just from being on campus now for 2 years that they are one of the higher level sororities, I guess you could say. They're a national sorority, correct?
Yep, we're national level.
And when I look at it here on campus, talking to the president of Alpha Sigma Alpha, I guess my first question would be, how long have you been president?
I've been president for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years come November.
And what are the duties of a president of a sorority like this?
I oversee a lot of other chairmen in the sorority. I do a lot of delegation to different activities that they may have planned, and then I run weekly business meetings on Sunday nights.
So when exactly did you become president?
I became president in November of 2014.
Okay, so just about 2 years now. And why did you join Alpha Sigma to start?
I guess I joined originally, well, at first when I came to school, I didn't have any interest in joining a sorority at all because of what Hollywood plays out sororities as. But then when I got on campus and met the women and realized what they were all about, and they were really more about community service and doing good in the community and on campus, then I realized that it was something that I was definitely interested in.
And you talk about how Hollywood displays sororities and even fraternities, and you see some of it's actually a lot of negatives if you look at it, I would say, in terms of how they do that. And so describe a little bit, if you look at a Hollywood aspect of it, it's not so good when you look at sororities. But when you come into real life, what's the differences?
I guess Hollywood really plays it up as like partying and hazing and stuff like that, and it's absolutely not that. Just like any other organization on campus, we're made up of a bunch of college students, so obviously we do have fun, but we do a lot of good for the community, and Hollywood doesn't portray that. They don't show the many community service hours that we have to do. They don't show the GPA requirement we're held to, and they don't show that Greek life students are held to a much higher standard than just your average student.
Absolutely, and you mentioned a little bit of the community there, so how exactly is Alpha Sigma involved in the community of Joplin?
Well, really the main part would be our work with the Lafayette House here in Joplin. We do have national philanthropies that we work with, but mainly in Joplin it comes down to the Lafayette House, and they just support women who have been victims of domestic abuse or assault, and we really work with them to get some of their donations, and then we have a Take Back the Night event that really supports them. So that's what we do for Joplin as a whole. Okay, and talking about Alpha Sigma, of course, here, what exactly is the sorority's mission? I guess our mission is to just develop women of poise and purpose. So for us, that just means you come in as a person and then you leave as a better person. You don't necessarily change, but you become the best version of yourself.
So I'll give you a chance to plug here, since we are on television. Why should girls join Alpha Sigma?
I think Alpha Sigma Alpha gives you those connections that everybody's looking for in college. I've been able to get internships to the sorority. I've been able to get references for a resume. So really, you make so many friends, but you work for your future life. Like, you build those connections that are going to help you get jobs and help you succeed after college.
And that's kind of the last point I wanted to hit on there was, that this sorority probably can follow you out of college, and a lot of people think that sororities are strictly just a college idea. Well, it probably does follow you a little bit. So I guess just my question would be how, in terms of, like you said, job field even, it does look good on resumes. So explain just real quick how the ability to be president in a sorority is going to affect you after college.
Well, what we always say is it's not 4 years, it's for life, and that has proven to be true. Just sitting through interviews for jobs, people will come across me being president on their resume, and they want to hear about that. I've never run into an interviewer that said, oh, well, you were in a sorority, you can't have this job. They want to hear what you've done, and they recognize that leadership potential for a future career. So it's really helped so far.
Yeah, and real fast, where can girls who are interested find more information?
If you would, just reach out to an Alpha Sigma Alpha member, or we do have a website, alphasigmaalpha.org. That's our national website, and then you can locate our chapter through that.
Great. Well, Kirsten, I want to thank you for joining me today and giving me some of your time to interview you.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick.
Thanks.
Thanks, Patrick. Up next, it's time to find out about one of the fraternities, Kappa Sigma.
Thank you for tuning in to KGCS Channel 22 Campus Spotlight. I'm Kendrick Harlock. With the semester here at Missouri Southern being in full effect, so is Greek life. I'm here with Zachary Sweets, a member of Kappa Sigma's fraternity, and you guys are doing some really cool things here on campus. Just tell me a little bit about Kappa Sigma and what you guys like to do.
We're a fraternity, of course. We focus on a lot of different things, academics, brotherhood, getting along with the brothers really well, doing fun stuff. And of course, we always do philanthropy events, which are also a lot of fun.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So you guys are really big on making sure you guys are big with inside and out. So it's really neat. Tell me like one of your, I guess like your favorite, most memorable experience as being a Kappa Sigma.
Probably my favorite experience has been going up to Grand Conclave one summer, which is just a giant meeting of Kappa Sigmas from all around the U.S. and Canada.
Sweet, sweet, exciting. You guys have really been getting you out there. Looking around campus, you can see a lot of cardboard boxes, a lot of things written on it. It's a really cool stance. You guys call it as a No Sleep for Soldier?
No, that is our event in the spring. This is called our Great Box Build-Off.
Okay.
So what we do for this is we just get a ton of cardboard boxes from places around town, and then we pretty much live in them for a couple days. And we raise awareness for the homeless, along with we collect donations such as non-perishable food, clothes, and money that we'll be donating to Watered Gardens, which is a local homeless shelter.
Sweet. So if students here want to get involved and donate these different items to your organization, who can they reach out to?
They could reach out to anyone in the chapter. Oliver Sprinkle is our president, so he'd probably be a good person to contact.
Sweet. It's always a good time for giving right around Thanksgiving time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Looking out for those who are in need, and that's a great thing that you guys are doing. So I guess as we move forward into the semester and look forward towards the spring, what big events can we look up to coming and seeing from you guys?
Well, what you mentioned earlier, we have the No Sleep for Soldiers event that will be planned in the spring, and that's usually our major event. We try to plan one big event every semester for our philanthropy, so that's going to be our next one.
Sweet. So the No Sleep for Soldiers, I guess, usually strikes the audience and helps people really get to know. I guess you guys do a lot for the military veterans, and I guess they would be pretty proud to see what you guys do for them each and every year. Remember last year we saw you guys at Come and Go, raising awareness for the No Sleep for Soldiers. You guys are rebuilding, and it's really good to have you guys here on campus at Missouri Southern. Well, that's all we have here for KGCS. I want to thank the audience for tuning in to KGCS Channel 22, and thank you, Zach, for taking time out of your busy day and coming to the studio and tell our viewers about what you guys are doing for our campus. If you guys want to get involved with Kappa Sigma and the different events that they have around campus, you guys can look up to Oliver, donate your perishable items, and wish you guys the best for your event.
Thank you.
Thanks.
As you can see, there are many people involved in student life at Missouri Southern. We invite you to stay tuned for future programs of Campus Spotlight as we interview others from campus. I'm Callie Woods. Thank you for joining us today.